For generations, this was the sound of summer.
This is a big one. Oh my God. This is a big one. Whoa! Whoa!
The British seaside resort. For more than 2 centuries, a cherished escape. From Margate to Morecambe, these towns were at the heart of the nation's holidays. But the jet age of the 60s and 70s, continuing into the arrival of low-cost airlines, changed everything. British holidaymakers were lured to foreign beaches, and the once bustling seaside towns entered a slow decline. To me, seaside towns like this are more than just fish and chips. They're part of who we are. Yet, in the last 2 years, visitor spending has plunged by 30%. So I'm here to ask, can the coastline fight back, or has the tide already turned for good?
A train ride from the capital, we begin our journey in a town once dubbed London's playground.
Margate, here in the southeast of England, was one of the original seaside resorts, famed for its golden sands and vibrant holiday atmosphere.
At its heart was Dreamland, an iconic amusement park that first opened in 1920. However, as visitor numbers declined, the park faced hard times, and in 2005 its gates closed for what was believed to be the very last time.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of Dreamland's rebirth.
The park needed inspiration, and it was found in the world of fashion. Designer Wayne Hemingway grew up in the northern seaside town of Morecambe and went on to become one of Britain's top designers. Margate chose him to lead the creative side of Dreamland's revival.
Yes, we didn't. This was going to be a really nice terrazzo floor, but no money left at all. So again, I remember Geraldine just saying, right, let's just get pennies that look like they've fallen out of the slot machine and dump them in the concrete, and that'll give us an interesting flooring, which it does. It's around 2009, 2010, and we got an email in from the Dreamland Trust, to a community of people. There was planning permission in for a load of bog standard housing, and it's just the idea that you could ruin all of this that had generations of people.
Heritage.
Yeah, the heritage. And I remember the first time we ever got in here, we got the gates open and we invited the community to come, and they could pay whatever they liked. Bring a shovel, bring a spade. This place was completely overgrown, everywhere was overgrown. And 2,000 people turned up, wow. You know, and that showed then the depth of passion to bring this back.
Dreamland's like a stick of rock. Margate's name runs right through it. But can that same magic formula work in other seaside towns?
Well, a seaside town in Britain has got to understand what it stands for, and it's got to have something it's got to find out something within its DNA, some individuality, which they all have.
Do you see a difference between gentrification and regeneration?
Gentrification is for the few, and regeneration is for everybody. But to get regeneration, you have to have culture, art, decent food, good entertainment. I'm seeing a new generation of young people who know that they have got to help bring these places back, that they shouldn't get on a plane all the time, that they shouldn't spend all their money abroad, that they can do so much for the environment and for Britain.
A decade ago, attractions like Dreamland and the turn of contemporary reignited interest in Margate, but buzz can be brief. So, has that spark really spread to the rest of the town? This is Cliftonville, a district of Margate, and until recently, one of the most deprived parts of the country. But cheaper property prices and an enhanced reputation has led droves of Londoners to come down here to live. It's even been listed as one of the coolest neighbourhoods in the world by the magazine Time Out.
So you've got to make an English cup of tea.
At 19, Mark Ezekiel swapped his fast food job to take over the Dalby Cafe, an old local favourite. 25 years on, the area's changed, but his sizzling breakfasts are still going strong. Mark, you are a long-time resident. You're born
and bred, yeah.
Born and bred in Margate.
Bred.
But this was a really rough area, Cliftonville, for a while, was it?
It was, but this also was the poshest area back in the 60s. Then went to that cycle of going down. Wouldn't have been alien to me to be sweeping off needles.
From syringes.
Yeah. That's all gone now.
Is there an issue that it might become gentrified, this word that nobody likes using?
I think it kind of already has. Like everywhere, like all the properties around here are really, really cheap. So a lot of Londoners were coming down and they were buying them and we were like, what are they doing? Buying them in some rough areas. And then they were restoring them to their absolute beautiful selves.
So I've noticed, Mark, that you've got a wall of fame up there.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
The famous mega breakfast. So yeah, I created the mega breakfast, which is like a big food challenge.
What is in the mega breakfast?
4 sausage, 4 bacon, 4 eggs, chips, hash browns, mushrooms, bubble, £1/4 burger, beans or tomatoes, and a choice of 2 bread.
So one person eats all of that?
Someone managed to eat 2
Two?
in a row. See, the more famous one was Pete Doherty coming in.
Who was the singer from the Libertines? The band?
Yeah. I mean, that was so random.
But the point is that has led to a lot of attention globally, with influencers as well.
Globally, yeah.
Tell me about
Globally.
that. Tell me about that.
We have people from Australia, Canada, America, all message. Oh, where I'm going to come and do this and all the rest of it. And, you know, it was a massive, massive story at the time.
So the town has changed dramatically over the last decade or so. What do you feel about it?
Obviously, things have become more expensive, like rents, properties, etc., etc. That's not a good thing, but that happens once it becomes a more desirable place to live. And it is a more desirable place to live. There's a lot going on.
It's inevitable, is that what you think?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a sign of progression.
It was time to continue our journey, heading west to Cornwall. In 1887, the St Earth to St Ives line moved fish fast. Now it moves tourists, soaking up the views on a slower, scenic ride. Now, Cornwall was one of the few coastal areas in England that I visited with my family when I was a kid. I remember it being really rugged and kind of otherworldly, at least very separate from the rest of the country. We went donkey riding and I pretended I was Clint Eastwood in a spaghetti western. But most of all, I remember the open skies, the crashing surf, and a strange kind of magic.
The final stop on our journey.
St Ives has a unique character all of its own. In fact, some call it the prettiest town in the whole of the country. It's always been a haven for dreamers, artists, and in the summer, lots of holiday makers.
St Ives is home to 11,000 residents, but welcomes more than 500,000 tourists each year. The town that once survived the lure of cheap package holidays now thrives on this steady stream of visitors. But that success brings pressures: busy summer traffic, energy-hungry second homes used as holiday lets, and added stress on the local coastline and wildlife. Balancing a warm welcome with a lighter touch on the climate is St Ives' new test.
I've just seen something out at sea, which is strange. It could be a dolphin, it could be a whale, a dugong, a seal even. But no, I think it's a little bit more mythical than that.
On land, they call her Emma Harper. But in the sea off St Ives, she's Mischief the Mermaid. Her wash-ups, those surprise appearances on the town's beaches, always draw a huge crowd. And she uses those moments to gently remind us that Cornwall's sea levels are rising faster than many other places. But with awareness and care, there's hope for the future.
If you learn to swim in the sea and keep the sea nice and clean and look after all its creatures, that when you grow a bit bigger, you might be able to magic your own mermaid too.
But there's plenty more to do. At Porthcerris on the Lizard Peninsula, Mischief runs weekend courses where she trains new wannabe mermaids. They swim through underwater forests, meet the local sea life and grow a deeper love and respect for the sea, all while having fun swimming with the tail.
Seaside fun has come a long way since donkey rides.
Need to check the clarity, make sure there's not too many local friends like jellyfish. They might. You can get jellyfish here, yeah? Whoa. Now turn and face the other way. Oh. You might start enjoying it in a minute. Remember that butterfly stroke on the swim gala at school?
Whoa!
Woohoo!
Whoa! Look, Mischief, it's my first time. Have I got what it takes
You've got
to be
what
a
it
merperson?
takes. You've got what it takes to be a merperson.
I wish there was...
You weren't trying, that's it. You made it the first flip.
Yeah, I know, next time. So, Mischief, tell me why you think what you do with the people that you train and all that, why is this important?
I mean, people will spend so much money on sports cars, on designer suits, on fragrances, and they'll look after these things when we have this here that doesn't cost you anything apart from its respect. If we all came together and actually loved the ocean as much as it loves us back, we don't need designer suits and we don't need sports cars, because you will be in a happier place.
After all that flailing about in the sea, I headed to the nearest Cornish pasty shop. Well earned, I'd say. It soon turns out I'm not the only one with an appetite.
Maybe not right now, maybe later.
In 2023, St Ives made the list as one of the UK's top seagull attack hotspots. These savvy, beady-eyed bandits aren't shy about swooping in for a snack.
Agreed to. I'm off to meet Karen Clowes, local artist and businesswoman, and a seagull survivor with a story. One bold bird, one stolen snack, and somehow that changed everything.
And this is the seagull who stole my ice cream.
Well, that is the culprit.
Got them hanging out on a line outside, and people walk past and they see this and they come in and go, I've got to buy that tea time. You'll never guess what's happened. And we know exactly what's happened. Well, I was feeling very sorry for myself. I had just been told that my job was being made redundant, and I'd come down to St Ives for the day to kind of cheer myself up, and I'd bought myself this ice cream. I should have known better as a local. I really should have known better. Suddenly, whoosh, from behind, I just gave this almighty scream, and I ended up with just a cornet. And so I was like really upset about it, but also I went home and I painted it, and I suddenly had this eureka moment. I could sell something, I could do this, I could make something out of this.
Summer keeps Karen busy, so I jumped in to help her create some new seagull-inspired souvenirs.
So we went to your shop earlier. It seemed to be really busy and crowded. And is it like that all year round?
Unfortunately not. Once we get to October time, you know, I can be in the shop and can just take, say, £60 in a whole day, which is, you know,
Not much.
not sustainable, especially when you've got your rent to pay and you've got your overheads.
Is there a danger, though, that this town has become a victim of its own success in the sense that there is only tourism?
So we need to be looking at other industries, and obviously creative industries is a big part of that. There's amazingly talented people out there. There's lots of skills, and we can, you know, we need to be able to grow on those and turn those into proper year-round industries. I think we've got opportunities, but there's a lot of challenges.
Welcome to Skegness. It began its story as a small fishing village of just 300 people. But over the past century and a half, the town that some people now call Skeg Vegas has become the very epitome of the classic English seaside getaway. But Skegness isn't just known for its beach, its pier, or its scary amusement parks.
We'll let you get off there, young man.
Yep. In 1936, one man had a vision: to create a holiday camp with fun, food and entertainment thrown in at an affordable price for working families. It was a game changer. Sir Billy Butlin's holiday dream started with a disappointment. Locked out of his B&B in Wales, he imagined a place where no one would be turned away. On Easter Saturday 1936, his Skegness camp opened with simple chalets and shared loos. One newspaper ad later, it was full. Soon others followed. Warners, Pontins, each with their own take. Together, they didn't just transform the seaside, they reinvented the holiday.
Nearly 90 years on, as overseas package holiday prices rise by up to 11.5% this year, Billy Butlin's dream of affordable fun looks ever more relevant. As prices soar abroad, families are looking closer to home for their holiday adventures.
At its peak, the Skegness site expanded to 8 other locations, plus spots in Ireland and even the Bahamas. Now only 3 remain, all in England. When many seaside towns started to struggle, millions of pounds were poured into transforming these resorts. They're almost unrecognisable from the old days. I'm meeting resort director Andrew Levers to check out the latest glow-up. Is it a step away from the company's cheap and cheerful roots?
Not at all. I think actually what we are doing is taking what Billy Butlin's always talked about in this industry, was to innovate and continue to innovate.
I understand you don't call this place a holiday camp anymore.
No, we call it a resort. I think the reason for that is obviously the camp, there's a lot of history there, but we've expanded a lot since then. There's so much more now. I think it is more of a resort than it is a holiday camp.
What's in a name? Whatever you call it, the spirit remains. Bold colours, noisy family fun, a world apart from the calm Cornish coast I saw earlier. And some things never change, like the iconic Redcoats.
So, tell me why you love working in Butlins.
Because we get to have fun like this all day, every day.
You first.
All right, here we go. Oh! No! That was good.
So the Redcoat, Katie, is so identifiable. For you personally, I mean, is this what you've always wanted to do?
Ever since I was little, I used to come here on holiday. So, you know, I've always grown up with knowing of the Redcoat. So it's always kind of been a passion that I would have loved to have done. So, hello, welcome everybody. So we've got 2 Redcoats in the venue this evening. You've got myself, Redcoat Katie, and you have the absolutely wonderful Redcoat Lauren T.
So what's the approach that you take when people are coming in?
So I like to be nice, I like to be light, I like to speak to both the grown-ups and the kids as well. Wow, what have you got there? Oh, is that a lollipop and you dip it into the flavours? Yeah.
Oh, can I have it? Ah! I might chip in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Hey guys, hello, welcome. How are you?
Are you excited?
Yeah, you look super excited. You're really getting into it now.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm promising. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Hello everybody, welcome to the show. There's 15 minutes until we start, and if you want something like a snack or a drink before we get going, there's a bar just over there. But I bet you're really excited right now.
Do you know, I think the future looks bright, and I think Redcoat Rajan has a lovely ring to it.
Redcoat Rajan.
Would you please make some noise for my best friend, the orangutan? Hi.
So, I've come to the end of my trip around the nation's coastline, and I realise there is no one-size-fits-all remedy for a struggling seaside town. Each case is different, and so is each solution. But one thing that really strikes me is that although there is nothing so evocative of childhood memories as a seaside resort, nostalgia is a movable feast. It can't stand still. It has to change with the times. Well, maybe not everything has to change.